Okay, so I'm going to talk about the situation with Tony Buzbee because it's so much going on all over YouTube and everywhere about what's going on with Buzbee and his situation in the Southern District of New York and being able to practice in the state of New York. For me, that was never a question. Could he practice in the state of New York? Like I said in my last video, he did not ask for permission. He did not do what he needed to do, which was file paperwork to get permission to file in the Southern District of New York. I am aware that a lot of people was going around in different articles saying that he was barred from practicing law. I don't know where that came from, but I never said that, and it was obvious that he could practice law. He just did not ask for permission. Per the document that I showed in the last video that's on my channel, you guys will see the document where the court addressed that, and yeah, they didn't like the fact that he did not do it the legal way like he should have. And I pulled up this document because I wanted you guys to see this. He went ahead and did what he had to do and filed that pro hack vice document that he needed to file in court in order to get approved to represent this case here. So that's what he has to do. He have to do that for every case that he's representing in the Southern District of New York. He need to make sure that he file the to get permission to practice out of their court. However, I realized that, watching a lot of people videos, people are all over the place. People are even actually arguing about this situation with Buzbee and him, the rumors of him being barred. I still don't understand how people got that wrong. Off the strength, it was obvious he wasn't barred. He just did not do what he should have to make sure that he would not mess up that last case that he had to drop against Diddy and Jay-Z. Again, it's crazy. But my opinion on that whole situation is, I still stand with my feelings that I had in the last video. And I get that everybody have different opinions because we're not lawyers, okay? We're not lawyers. We don't know. We can only read, and it's apparent that a lot of people don't do that, and then they try to tell you something. So yeah, I feel that Tony Buzbee was still wrong in this situation because everybody is so busy wanting to prove that they're right and make an argument over this situation, and him being barred or not is not even the issue for me. It was apparent that he wasn't barred. The issue to me is that the fact that he made such a huge mistake to where he had to get a whole case dismissed. He had to drop a whole case. So what does that do for the alleged victim, the Jane Doe, in that case? Because that case was dismissed with prejudice, which means that she cannot bring that case back up. And from my research, I don't know if it's something outside of what I read, but from what I read, it is the client's responsibility to make sure that whatever lawyer they hire is have the right to practice out of a state. So it's basically her fault in a way, according to the law, from what I read. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I read that. I went and did my research, and it is the client's responsibility to make sure whatever lawyer they hire have the right to practice law in whichever state they are filing their lawsuit or whatever in, okay? So I think it was very deceptive of him. I don't care what nobody say. I still think that it was wrong because, see, I feel that everybody shifted gears on what the most important part of what just happened, and it was that alleged victim. As much as when she came out, I said I don't really believe her story. Her story was all over the place to me. But I kept telling y'all, I said Tony Buzbee has to have a golden nugget in his pocket. He is something he have that we don't know, because there's no way he'll take on this client with the story she told us if he don't have some other evidence that we just can't see. That was my theory. So the entire time After that first weekend when she first came out, I didn't believe her. Over the weekend, I had to think about it. And then I said, okay, I'm going to give Tony Buzbee a chance because he, is a respectable lawyer from what people say. And his accolades speak for themselves. So, I had to give him a chance. It's got to be something else. It has to be, right? Well, why would he file paperwork and go forward with this Diddy and Jay-Z case, know that he did not get all his ducks in a row? I still do not believe that he didn't know that he needed to file this pro hac vice visa, however you say it, in court to make sure that he could practice law in the Southern District of New York. Yes, he's certified in the Eastern District of New York, but it's still his responsibility to know that. Instead of diving headfirst trying to represent these people and be the first lawyer to represent all the alleged victims, you should have made sure you had your ducks in a row before you came out after such high profile people. And because of that, your client had to drop her entire case. Now, even though I feel like her story is still all over the place, I still believe that, and we never got a chance to really hear the all the details in the story, the evidence, the facts. We didn't get a chance to get that, and we are not gonna get that. Because even though I kind of didn't believe it, and a lot of people didn't, it does not matter what we believe. Everybody deserves the right and have the right to have their case heard in court. Okay? So it's not up to us. Yeah, that's our personal feelings, however people, whatever people believe. But I believe that anyone who is alleging something like that have the right to have their case heard in court, and it's up to the court to decide the fate of that case. So it wasn't up to us. It wasn't up to me. And I feel that is wrong. So people that saying that they on the side of the alleged victims, where are you? Speak up now, because everybody said, oh, y'all going against Tony Buzbee. It's not even about that. Are we missing the fact that this Jane Doe entire case was thrown out? I think that's the most important part. I don't care if Buzbee signed a paper, didn't sign a paper, what district he could work in and couldn't work in. He knew better. And if he didn't, he should have. Why are we giving him a pass on that? Why is he he's not getting a pass from me on that? Because he should have known better. He's not a rookie lawyer. If somebody have to hold his hand in this process, then he need to pass the torch. And I'm standing on that. And for those, I posted a video yesterday and I took it down because I realized that I needed to run some stuff back. Okay? And let it be clear over here on the Nellyville show. And I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it because I see people, and I don't like blocking people because I feel that everybody is entitled to their opinion. And I'm okay with that. I want to hear everybody's opinion. I don't care if it's different than mine. You have the right to say how you feel, and that's fair. But when you get to the point where you're posting over 20 comments and send out on the disrespectful side, you're going to get blocked. Okay? Don't go tell me. I don't want to hear about what the next creator doing on their channel. I want to hear about what somebody else said. I have eyes and I can read. And then to tell me that I need to go do research when I pull up evidence on every video that I do. I always have a document majority of the time, 99% of the time. If I'm talking about this case, there's a document being shown on the screen. Okay? So I don't go listen to what somebody else said and then go to somewhere else and make an argument with someone based off what I heard one person say. No, you go do your research, because where your documents at, the same video that or channel that you commented from, how about you pull up your camera and tell people that can watch you? This the Nellyville show over here. I ain't gonna say that again. This the Nellyville show, and I'm gonna do and say what I want to over here on the Nellyville show. You're not running anything over here on the Nellyville show, okay? Now, I be trying to be cool to everybody. I have a lot of people say, hey, I don't mean no harm. And I have to let y'all know 100 times that I don't care about y'all voicing y'all opinion. You don't have to tell me you don't mean harm. Honey, I have thick skin. And even when I see comments that say, well, I don't agree with you, this and that and the other, I'm fine with that because I don't want y'all to agree. Ain't it really weird that you have to agree with a lot of these people just to be on their channel? You got to agree with them or they going to block you. That's weird. I don't want people around me that agree with everything I say. How do you learn if you're around people that agree with everything? It will be pretty boring if everybody had the same mad, okay? And you sitting around them all day long. No, tell me something. Teach me something. Let me learn something. Let me see something from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that. But when you you cross that little borderline where you borderline being disrespectful, yeah, you're going to get blocked. You got the game messed up. Don't become content trying to tell me about somebody else's content. Okay? I'm standing on how I feel. Somebody, you going too hard? No, I'm not going hard, because if it was your family member who was alleging something like that, and because of a lawyer's negligence, their case was dismissed indefinitely, how would you feel? See, we steady talking about this Bard and all that. Okay, let's get past that. Now what? What happens to that Jane Doe? What happened to that? As much as I believe her story, like I said, was all over the place, and you know, I don't know. I still wanted to hear her out. She deserves to be heard out. Everybody have the right to be heard in court. We don't know. We don't know what could have been going on. And then Jay-Z walking around like he won some type of victory. No, you didn't, baby. It was literally a mishap. He posting his F like, I told y'all I was going to win. He didn't have grounds, leg to stand on, or grounds for this case, and this and that other. No, that's not why your case got dropped, sir. And everything in this video is alleged, but that's not why the case got dropped. It was for Tony Buzbee's negligence before he came for you. Okay? And he let that deadline go by without filing that pro hack vice, however you want to say it, to make sure that he could continue with this case in the state of New York, which is something that he should have done before he even came for anyone. Okay? And I don't understand how he would not know that. So let's skip all the arguments that you know everybody is having in the comments and on these different channels about was he what paperwork he had, what dates and all that. That is not important. I don't hear anyone discussing this Jane Doe whose case got dismissed because of this mistake. And at the end of the day, if Tony Buzbee is up to par and he is going to represent the other remaining alleged victims in these lawsuits, he needs to stand 10 toes down and make sure that he do everything that he's supposed to do up front. Yeah, I just feel that is wrong. And everybody focused on the wrong thing. Am I crazy for thinking about that? That's the only thing I literally been thinking about for the last couple days. I even talked about it in the video that's up on my channel, the previous one before this one. I even talked about that. What happens with this Jane Doe? Her case was dismissed with prejudice. And what can she do? Because just because I feel her story is off, that don't mean it is. That could have changed. But who am I? What I think don't matter. What you think don't matter. She had the right to have her case heard in court, just like every other alleged victim. And that is not going to happen now. Imagine that. Imagine that being your family member. Y'all worrying about the wrong thing, trying to, prove somebody wrong or right. What that have to do with the fact that this young lady, will not have her case heard in court due to Tony Buzbee big mistake. He made a huge mistake. And if he was representing me and I was one of the other clients, he will be dropped. He will be dropped. I'm sorry, he will be dropped because we already going after, some of the biggest people. I'm probably getting, all type of messages and threats, and you're not standing on business. You make a mistake like that, and eventually my identity will have to be revealed. And if you made a mistake, well, my case get dropped. Now I got people, looking at me and probably some more stuff. Y'all know what I'm hitting at. And then I don't even be compensated or make sure I get justice or anything. And I had to reveal my identity because this is mistake number one. Will there be another one? Honey, I wouldn't wait around to find out. So I hope that he stand on business moving forward. He did get approved for this one. The motion of Anthony G. Buzbee for admission to practice pro-hack vice in the above caption action is granted. So that's in this particular lawsuit right here. That, you know, we still gotta wait on the other ones, and like I said in my previous video, I don't see why they would not approve him. You know what I'm saying? I never talked about being barred. It was clear as day that he was not barred. The court document that I showed, like I said, says that he simply needed to file the paperwork, and he did not do it. So yes, he made a mistake. So we're not gonna sit. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and act like he deserve a pass. You don't make mistakes and stuff like this. That's why lawyers are hired in the first place. Because if that's the case, we can go down there and fill out the stacks of paperwork and represent ourselves. You know what I'm saying? The lawyers represent us off the strength that they're not gonna make a mistake. Not this type of mistake where you get my whole case thrown out. Let me get my case thrown out. You're not supposed to do that. I think people missing it. Yeah, I don't know. I still stand on what I said and how I feel. And because it's looking as if he will get a chance to represent everybody else that is left in these cases. Okay. And that's fine because I still think he's a good lawyer. But he can't afford to be making these mistakes, which is huge to me. Okay. And like I said, you know, it is what it is. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. And again, if you go in the comments and you want to lose your man, I'm just going to block. I'm not even going to play with people because this ain't that. Now, I don't care. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I am fair with that. But when it seems like you're trying to come at me in a weird way, you know, and posting over 20 comments, go take your meds. That's what you do. Go handle your business. You worrying about a case. Baby, this is the least of your problems if you're commenting like that on somebody's video. Okay? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm out, y'all. Tell me what y'all think about this. I'm still very concerned, and nobody is talking about this Jane Doe. And that's the part that's the biggest problem in this entire case. It's not Diddy. It's not Jay-Z. It's not if Tony Buzbee is barred or not, or where he can practice that. It's none of that. It's the fact that this Jane Doe was forced to have her case dropped because of his mistake. That's it. Anywho, tell me what y'all think in the comments. I'm out, y'all. Bye.